Hey folks, Rich Van Tassel with you, finishing up our game picks for now week 5 of the NFL season, and of course recording audio for Get Live Radio. Baltimore Ravens 2-2, 1-1 on the road, travel to Oakland to play the Raiders, who are 2-2, 1-0 at home. Injuries for the visiting Ravens: Benjamin Watson, tight end; Jeremy Maclin, wide receiver; Anthony Levine, senior cornerback, are questionable. Brandon Williams, defensive tackle, out. Jalen Hill, cornerback, doubtful. For the Oakland Raiders, Derek Carr, they have him listed as questionable. Expect that E.J. Manuel gets the start. DeAndre Washington, running back; David Amerson, cornerback; Garen Conley, cornerback, questionable. Interesting game here. Two teams at crossroads. Oakland, high expectation season for them. I see Carr listed as questionable. I'm shocked. He's probably going to be out for a few weeks, so expect E.J. Manuel to start. He's got to be proficient in these couple weeks. They go without Derek Carr to keep them competitive and keep them around in that tough AFC West. Joe Flacco, 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's really been inconsistent this year, but you would expect that with the way the Baltimore Ravens have struggled to run the ball. Alex Collins has come on of late. He's had some big carries, 25 carries, 206 yards. That's well above 4 yards per carry, well above 5 yards per carry. I mean, he's almost at 10 yards per carry there. So give him credit, but those are limited numbers, so we'll see. He's had some big games, some big runs. We'll keep an eye on him. Can they establish the run? I expect him to be the one to get it going. He has had some fumble issues. E.J. Manuel, he's still got to take advantage of those weapons. Oakland can't get conservative. Look for them to run the ball with Marshawn Lynch, who is struggling a bit at times, but they're going to abandon it, I'd expect, and relatively early, because they're going to have to try to keep pace with the Baltimore Ravens, who will throw the ball a lot and probably put up points. The Ravens do have a good defense, do have a good secondary. Expect them to get turnovers against E.J. Manuel in this game. I still think the Raiders are going to find a way to win this game. It's a toss-up game, very tough game here with the inconsistency of the Baltimore Ravens and the injury to Derek Carr for the Oakland Raiders. I'm still picking the Raiders to come away with the victory, though. 28-24 in a high-scoring and sloppy at times game. The Seattle Seahawks, 2-2, 0-2 on the road, travel to Los Angeles to play the Rams, who are 3-1, 1-1 at home. Injuries for the visiting Seahawks: C.J. Prosise, running back; Jeremy Lane, cornerback, doubtful; Cliff Averill, defensive end; Quentin Jefferson, defensive tackle, out. Michael Wilhoit, linebacker, questionable. For the Rams, Jamal Brown, guard; LaMarcus Joyner, safety, questionable. Los Angeles, this is going to be their biggest test of the season. Even though you had the Cowboys last week, they really handled the Cowboys. Cowboys clearly are not the team we expected coming into this year. Seattle off that win against Indianapolis, so they've got some things going. They definitely have some momentum going. Let's see if they can keep it going. Certainly their defense is going to test the young Jared Goff in this game and be a situation where he's going to have to make plays. He's going to go against that secondary, which does have some injuries. We'll keep an eye on that. Todd Gurley, who's playing very well this year, especially out of the backfield, catching the ball. Look for him to be receiving as well, over 4 yards per carry. I expect him to be a top receiver for Jared Goff in this game. However, I expect the more veteran Seattle Seahawks to come away with the victory. I expect the Rams offense to slow down in this game. They've had some pretty weak defenses they've gone against. The Cowboys, yes, are a weak defense, and Seattle will slow them down even with some secondary and defensive injuries. They'll get enough pressure and probably turn Jared Goff over in this game. I like 21-17, the Seattle Seahawks over the Los Angeles Rams. Rams just not quite ready for it. The Green Bay Packers, 3-1, 0-1 on the road, travel to Dallas to play the Cowboys, who are 2-2, 1-1 at home. Injuries first for the visiting Packers: Mike Daniels, defensive tackle; Devon House, cornerback; Quentin Rollins, cornerback; Devontae Adams, wide receiver, are questionable. I saw that Devon House is almost certainly playing. He traveled in this game. He had a concussion situation. Joe Thomas, a linebacker, is out. For the Cowboys, all questionable: Anthony Brown, cornerback; Nolan Carroll, the second cornerback; Lel Collins, offensive tackle; Stephen Paea, defensive tackle; Tyron Smith, offensive tackle. The Cowboys have had their secondary injuries. Their secondary and their defense is going to continue to struggle until they make some adjustments and stop allowing teams to just have what they want underneath, get a rhythm going, and pick apart the Cowboys downfield. It keeps their offense off the field. Look, the Cowboys' offensive line has not gotten going. Cowboys have not been good on third down, and I don't think the Cowboys are going to change. Their coaching staff is pretty stubborn, and I think the Green Bay Packers are going to roll the Cowboys in this one. I like 31-13. It's just a bad matchup for the Cowboys, and hopefully this will serve as a wake-up call for them that they have to change their defensive philosophy, or they're going to continue to get beat week in, week out. And Aaron Rodgers knows this team, and he's going to find the holes and pick apart the Cowboys. The Kansas City Chiefs, 4-0, 2-0 on the road, travel to Houston to play the Texans, who are 2-2, 1-1 at home in the Sunday night game. Injuries for the visiting Chiefs, all out. Laurent Duvernay, Tardif, guard. Mitch Morse, center. D. Ford, linebacker. For the Houston Texans, Tyler Irvin, running back, is an IR out. Kyle Fuller, the center, is out. The rest are questionable. Kevin Johnson, cornerback. Whitney Merciless, linebacker. Greg Mance, center. Interesting game here. Kansas City, a shorter week because they played the Monday night game. They're rolling. They have some injuries to the offensive line, 2 guys being out. Let's see if that's going to affect Alex Smith and the way he plays. Has not turned the ball over. He has less than 30 incompletions on 121 passes. He's playing very well. He'd be my pick for MVP at this point in the season. I would expect a lot of Kareem Hunt in this game running the ball. He's been very good. Tyreek Hill, injury questions. He's not listed, so he should be playing. But I think Kansas City is going to get their first loss traveling to Houston. I think those offensive line injuries are going to make Alex Smith uncomfortable for the first time in this season. He's going to have a bad game. Don't look too much into it because the Houston Texans have a good defensive line. There are some offensive line injuries. It's going to affect the Chiefs in this one. It's going to get Alex Smith out of his game. Don't make adjustments after this one, but they're going to lose this game. The Houston Texans get the victory over the Kansas City Chiefs, handing the Chiefs the first loss of the season. I like 24-17 as the Chiefs offense struggles with those injuries to the offensive line.